Last week, Mistral released its new flagship model, Mistral Large 2. And to be honest, I feel like Mistral is not getting enough credit for how amazing this release actually is. When I began researching on Mistral Large 2 and try to look at YouTube videos, on blog posts to help me better understand this new release, there weren't as much content compared to when I did my video on Llama 3.1 405B, which I'll put in the link description below for y'all to check out. Now, granted, Mistral is not as popular as Llama, aka Meta, aka Facebook, which is very understandable because Mistral is a startup. But I think it's also good to note that just last month, Mistral raised over $600 million in their Series B round. And to make things even better, they had companies like Andreessen Horowitz, Nvidia, Samsung, and Salesforce investing in the company, which means, Mistral Large 2 looks amazing. I'm excited to see where it'll be in a couple years from now. Okay, so let's get into this. So on their website, as we go through this new release update, it says, today, we are announcing Mistral Large 2, the new generation of our flagship model. Compared to its predecessor, Mistral Large 2 is significantly more capable in code generation, mathematics, and reasoning. It also provides a much stronger multilingual support and advanced function calling capabilities. And this multilingual support is actually really impressive. We'll get into that just a second. So let's continue into this new release. This latest generation continues to push the boundaries of cost efficiency, speed, and performance. Mistral Large 2 is exposed on the plate for me and enriched with new features to facilitate building innovative AI applications. Now, Mistral Large 2 has a 128,000 context window and supports dozens of languages. This next part is pretty amazing because I believe Llama 3 only supports 8 languages right now. And let's look at how many languages Mistral Large 2 supports. So this includes French, German, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Arabic, Hindi, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, along with 80 plus coding languages, including Python, Java, C, C++, JavaScript, and Bash. So immediately we can see how useful Mistral Large 2 can be compared to even Llama, simply because they support more languages, which means more people, more companies around the world could actually use this product. So that's exciting. Now, Mistral Large 2 is designed for single node inference with long context applications in mind. Its size of 123 billion parameters allows it to run a large throughput on a single node. Okay, now, so Mistral Large 2 has 123 billion parameters. Llama 3.1 405B, aka 405B, why? Because Llama 3.1 405B, aka hence why is it called 405B? Because it has 405 billion parameters, which is insane. To be honest, it's just insane. But as we look down at the benchmarks in just a second, we'll see that despite Mistral Large 2 having much less parameters to Llama 3, they're able to still keep up with the competition, which is very impressive. So Mistral Large 2 sets a new frontier in terms of performance and cost of serving on evaluation metrics. In particular, on MLU, the pre-trained version achieves an accuracy of 84% and sets a new point on the performance cost Pareto front of open models. Let's take a look at code and reasoning. Following our experience with Codeshell 22B and Codeshell Mamba, we trained Mistral Large 2 on a very large proportion of code. Mistral Large 2 vastly outperforms the previous Mistral Large and performs on par with leading models such as GPT-4o, which just released not too long ago, Claude 3 Opus, exact same thing, and Llama 3 405B. Now, Mistral is saying that Large 2 vastly outperforms previous Mistral Large, but also keeps up with leading models like Llama 3 405B, which, by the way, released one day before Mistral. And so as soon as Llama 3 405B came out, they had to really test the performance of Llama 3 compared to Mistral as fast as possible, with the launch date being set for the day after Llama 3 release. So this is pretty impressive. So when we look at code generation performance, what we see here immediately is that Mistral Large 2 beats Llama 3.1, which is crazy. Again, please note, Mistral has only how many parameters? 123 billion parameters. Llama 3.1 is not performing as well as Mistral Large 2 when it comes to code generation performance, which is pretty interesting. Even when it comes to math performance, Mistral Large 2 is up there, beating Llama 3. And again, it has a lot less parameters than Llama 3.1405B. So this alone is amazing. Now they have more updates, which I'm excited to get into right now. It's pretty impressive. And I like the approach they're taking when it comes to hallucinations within LLMs. So let's get into this right now. So a significant effort was also devoted to enhancing the model's reasoning capabilities. One of the key focus areas during training was to minimize the model's tendency to hallucinate or generate plausible sounding but factually incorrect or irrelevant information. So their key focus area was again to minimize the amount of hallucination. This was achieved by fine-tuning the model to be more cautious in discerning its responses, which is what we want. We want responses to be more cautious because accuracy is king when it comes to data, right? Ensuring that it provides reliable and accurate outputs. Additionally, now check this out. The new Mistral Large 2 is trained to acknowledge when it cannot find solutions or does not have sufficient information to provide a confident answer. Okay, this is crazy. Mistral Large 2 is trained to acknowledge when it cannot find solutions or does not have sufficient information or data to provide the answer you're looking for. So how do they prevent hallucinations? How do they prevent this from hallucinating? By simply saying, I don't know, which is what we want. Which is what we want, which is what everyone wants. I think this is great. It sounds so simple. This sounds so simple, but it's so smart. If that makes sense. It sounds so simple. Like it's such a simple solution to say, I don't know, but it's smart. I love it. I love it so much. Now, this commitment to accuracy is reflected in the improved model performance on popular mathematical benchmarks, demonstrating its enhanced reasoning and problem-solving skills. Now, when we look at these benchmarks, it looks like, Mistral Large 2 is the dark orange and Mistral Large is the bright orange. And this really light gray, the lightest of all grays, is GPT-4o, and Llama 3 is here, right? I'm not sure if you can see this on my screen. I think you should be able to. But as we can see right now, Mistral Large 2, when it comes to human eval, Mistral Large 2 beats Llama 3.1 and is on par with GPT-4o. And again, like, why would you use Mistral Large 2 compared to GPT-4o? Simply because it's much cheaper than GPT-4. This is amazing. And it even comes exact same thing with Human Eval Plus, exact same performances. Now, when we look at different languages, we see that Mistral Large 2, I can't highlight this, but Mistral Large 2 with Python is just on par with GPT-4o. With C++, just in par with GPT-4o, beating Llama 3, right? Same thing with Bash. Actually, there are quite a few points below it. And when we look at Java, it's beating everyone else. TypeScript, just on par, right? It's beating everyone else except GPT-4 and etc. So you see that Mistral Large 2 is the underdog and not getting I feel like they aren't getting enough attention as they should because of how amazing this is. But we can see that it's performing extremely well, especially for a startup that just hit Series B. So it's really exciting to see where the company is going, where AI is going. Now, I'm not going to go through this entire article because it'll just take a long time. If you want to check it out, put a link in the description below. The AI wars, the LLM wars is here. It is exciting to see how AI is taking huge leaps forward in tech right now. I'm really excited to see where we will be just a couple months from now. Like with Mistral Large 2 coming out, with Llama 3 coming out, what is next for GPT 4.5 or GPT 5.0, right? So we'll see. I'm excited to see where this goes. Anyway, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm excited to see what you think of this as well. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.